Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you all doing? Is everybody there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you all hear me? Can you all see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what were we doing? Problem solving, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So any doubts on that? Did you all try doing something? Did you try to solve your problems doing that? Okay, is everybody there? Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I can just hear one person. So everybody is there? Arya, Debojit, Deepak, G, I don't know, is that Gokul? Kuldeep, Monisha,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Parmita, Sardar, okay, Rakesh, Ramkrishna, Rilesh, Rowan, okay, Arvind, Saikat, Saptak, Satyam. So, a lot of you are there, but I can hear only 2-3 voices. Why is that so? So, we're going to talk about some important points for you all today. So I want you all to be really careful, and I want you all to be attentive. Shab Chere, sit down here and talk to me. Are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Problem solving part is clear. We did it in 2 ways. We had 5 points and we also did the catwalk way. This much is clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions in this? Did you all try? Did you feel that কোনো একটা problem where you're not able to come up? Did you try this way? Keeping your cool. Okay, nobody's talking. I don't know what goes on. Like, why you all stop talking? How was your weekend? What do you all do in your weekends usually? Like, it's a lockdown, but still. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you all can hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So why
ma'am.
are you
Actually, ma'am,
guys
I was
not
preparing my breakfast, ma'am.
talking?
That's why I was like silent.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So you finish with your breakfast and things. But you can still, since I can't see you, you can still eat and talk, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What about
Definitely.
others? What about others? Are you all sleeping or cleaning the house?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So can I expect you all to talk to me?
Definitely, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I also finished my breakfast, and then I will join. I will have to join this Google Meet, and then I join.
Okay. You finished your breakfast, right? All of you finished your breakfast? Like it's 12. What time do you guys eat your breakfast?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, a bit
8
late because,
8
ma'am, the
a.m.
sleep cycle has been like destroyed in this pandemic. We sleep a little bit
Really?
late.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
basically you're not
No,
breakfasting, you're
no
doing
discipline,
brunch.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
it's like lunch
Literally.
and breakfast, so it's brunch. So
Yes,
what
ma'am.
time do you guys have your lunch then?
I guess, ma'am, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m.
Okay, okay, okay. Thankfully you managed that way. Okay, so and what about others? Only Satyam and Monisha is speaking. What about others? The rest of you, are you guys there?
Yes, ma'am, I am here. Actually, I was opening the garage door for my office because my sir just arrived right now.
Okay, okay. What about others? So you're in work? You're at work, Rilesh?
Yes, ma'am, I am actually. I do things parallelly at times because that's the only way I can do it.
And that's fine. But you can text or talk while you're at your work?
Yes, ma'am, that is possible.
Okay, so make sure that you listen to the session and try to get whatever you can. If you have anything you want to ask me back, okay?
Okay, ma'am, I will ask if there is something that I really need to ask.
Sure. And what about others? What about the rest of you? Debujyoti, Asmita, Arya, Aniket, Amit, Deepak, Gokul, Gaurav, Kuldeep, Paramita, Partha. Where are you guys?
Ma'am, this is my first class, so I was just listening to the conversation.
Oh, Arya, this is your first class? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Why, what, you didn't come for the last classes?
Ma'am, my phone my laptop and my phone chargers, all of that was stolen, so I did not have a way to
Oh,
connect to the meeting.
that's sad. That's sad. Okay. Okay, so what about others? 33, right? I can hear four of them. What about others? Gaurav, Deepak, Debojyoti, Asmita. Where are you guys? Arya, you just spoke. Asmita, you
Yes,
there?
ma'am.
Why
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
not speaking, Asmita? Are you doing something?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Debojyoti?
I just joined.
Okay. Who was that? Okay, Manisha is there. Manisha is there. Partha, Priyajit, Rakesh. Okay, we need to seriously talk about it. Okay, when we do an online session, I understand your videos are not on, but why will your audios be and not talking? Like you have to keep it muted because obviously to avoid the background noise. But why will you not talk when is asked? Okay, third year, I'm asking to you. I'm talking to you.
Yes, ma'am. We will definitely means contribute to the conversation.
Yeah. What about Dipanjali? You there, Dipanjali? Okay, how come you're logged in and you're not talking? That means you're not there in the class. I'm going to write the names. Arya, you're there. Asmita? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Who's this? You need to tell me your name quickly.
Ashmita, ma'am. Ashmita.
Ashmita. Where were you, Ashmita? Are you busy?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I want you all to talk, right? I mean, we're doing a session and you think without talking, without knowing that you are there, your presence is not felt. Okay, Debojyoti?
Ma'am, he is messaging, I guess. Ma'am, his mic is not working.
Oh, okay. I don't see the messages. Where do I see the messages? You're in the chat.
It's not in the chat.
I don't see the messages. Okay. Now I can't listen to your voice properly because of network. Shubhashri, I'm having little issues. Okay, mic is not working. Okay. Yeah, I think I don't see the messages pretty often because it's not popping out. Okay, fine. So let's start. I'm going to make sure that who is talking and who is not. Just text me. I'm going to take care of the text on now. I can see that. Okay, Shandipan has started talking. So fine. So here today we spoke about problem solving. Now, if you understand, to solve a problem, you also have to know about a person, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So today, so when you have a problem solving class, like you're talking about problem solving, before that we have something called you get into a conflict. Before we start to conflict resolutions, how you get into a conflict, you understand, right? Like, why do you think we get into a conflict? Anybody who can tell?
When there is
Ma'am,
a different
there's
in
a difference of
opinions.
opinion. Yes, that's
Yeah,
that's it.
difference of opinion. And why do you think is the difference of opinion is, you know,
Ma'am, because ma'am, everyone has a different perspective of things, I guess.
yes, because everybody has a different perspective. Very true. Now, the different perspective, that is one way you get into a conflict. What is the other way? What is the other way? Why do you get into a conflict? What are the things? What I mean is, what are the other things? মানে একটা মানুষের সঙ্গে আরেকটা মানুষের মত ভেদ হয় কেন? Like, why there is a difference?
Ma'am, maybe we do not agree with other people on something.
Yeah, that is true. Agree হচ্ছে
Difference
না.
of
That's what
opinion.
conflict is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, say?
Some difference of opinion.
Correct. Difference of opinion is basically the major reason of a conflict, right? But
Also the conflict as many cannot make you understand what they are thinking. So even if the thinking is same, you cannot make the other person understand. So that's where the clash also comes.
exactly, the understanding pattern. So did we do communication class? Did we do a communication class? আমরা কি একসঙ্গে করেছি communication class?
Ma'am, this is my second class, so I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, so any other classes that you did on soft skills other than my class? Doesn't matter কার কাছে করেছো, but the concept is the same. So let me tell you, like when you're talking about a conflict that comes, so this is a more of a psychological part. Okay, it's not, I know you people you're turning out to be engineers with your own lot of your logical head usage, but there's something which we talk about sharing the same understanding. So whatever it is, like you take care of your conversation, you talk to someone, you meet someone, you try to present yourself to an extent, keeping in mind your audience. Your audience means jar sange tumi kotha bolcho, like the person in front of you. So you have to share the same understanding. So I start this in my communication class where I make you understand that same understanding share kora is important. Like how Asmita was saying, yes, you end up because you are not able to make that person understand your point of view. And that is why what happens is at times you differ with your thought process,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And which is why you end up you end up in a, say, argument or disagreement, and which is what arises a conflict. Conflict is basically the mind where your mind is not agreeing to the viewpoint, situation, or the person point of view. That is what a conflict is, right? You're not ready to accept
Yes,
a
ma'am.
situation. Now, before I get into a conflict resolution part, I want you all to understand that there are different set of personalities in our life, right, around us. So, understanding factor ta kisher upore depend kore. What does it depend on? Or different
Ma'am, maybe
personalities.
the
Hmm.
person should express themselves, the point of view. If they cannot express the point of view, then we will not understand.
Yeah, that is one point. That is the understanding part. That is the communication part. Like how well you are able to communicate your point of view from one person to the other person, right? Depending on the same understanding. Now you all understand, right? I mean, you all are old enough, adults here, and I am talking to you. So I will talk to you in a way where my message or my viewpoint, my knowledge, I can share with you and you can understand what I'm trying to tell you. If you're not understanding what I am saying, that means I am lacking on my communication skills. Similarly, when you are talking or saying something to your classmate, teacher, even family members, friends, if you're not able to make your friend or people understand what your point of view is, you are lacking in your communication skills. You're breaking the communication cycle, basically. Am I right? Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
হ্যাঁ বলো. Oh, you want me to say in Bangla?
No, ma'am. I also comfortable in English.
Yeah, okay. So you understood what I'm saying? You all understood what I'm saying, right? So I'm talking about the same understanding. Let me give you an example. Okay, now you're talking to your say there is something that say your mom asked you, what do you want to have for lunch? And you answer, oh ma, let's have biryani. Let me see, I like to have this also. Can I have like a little more of tandoori chicken along with the biryani? Can I order some chutney with it? So you have your own set of choices and you talk to your mom in a way that she understands and she knows that how you like what kind of food. If a similar question is asked to you at your workplace, suppose your team lead asks you, what about having lunch together? How do you think you're going to talk? Your choices and your way of asking will be different from what you ask from your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Generally, forget
It will
about
be more
workplace.
formal.
Yeah, it'll be more formal. If they say like, is it okay if we order biryani? Suppose you don't like biryani so much and you say like, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about me. I'm okay with anything. But had it been with your mom, na 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 na, ajke biryani khabo, na ajke eta banabe. You have your own way of saying that because your understanding level is different. Your audience is different.
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose you're talking to a child, you're talking to the child about, say, about the functioning of a heart, you know. So are you going to use all the strong words, the right ventricle, the left ventricle? Are you going to talk about
No.
all those things, or you're going to say as it is in a simpler way, like there is a channel that will come to your right and then purify the blood, and you're going to say it in a simpler way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is
And just
your
like a
first,
teacher explains to a student.
exactly like a teacher to a student. I mean, in schools, I'm sure you all had set of, teachers where you will find that the teacher is very knowledgeable and he would come up with all the big names and tags and give you a complex teaching way. I mean, a child who is intelligent definitely gets it or would study it, but an average student will struggle to understand what the teacher is trying to say. I had in my school, I can tell you my experience. Like in my school, I had a physics teacher. He had a very complex way of making understand a concept of physics. Believe me, till today, I'm scared of physics. So it's the probably we never shared the same understanding, so my communication with him broke. So here you have to when you get into an organization, you will have different people from different backgrounds, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Different people from different backgrounds. So when you have different people, you have to somewhere analyze that person. Now, according to our psychologists, scientists, they all have made 4 categories. So this is a different thing that I'm trying to show you, but something like this. Okay, now for example, imagine that, let me flip the camera. So can you see this 4 squares? Can you all see this 4 squares?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
We
you all
cannot see anything.
can't see me? Can you all see me?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am. No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Oh no, really? Well then,
Ma'am, I think your
should I
camera is off.
reconnect? Now can you all see me?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
I don't know why, what to do about it. Okay.
Ma'am, just because of network problem.
Oh, that's because of network. Should I reconnect
Yes,
and see?
ma'am.
Wait, let me reconnect, okay? I don't think so. You can still see me, right?
Ma'am, now we can
Yeah,
see you.
ma'am. Like, we can
Ma'am,
see
we can
you.
see you. We can see
Oh, you can see me now? Okay. Now quickly look at this before the camera stops working. So can you see this 4 squares?
Yeah,
you. Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now imagine this 4 shades are 4 shades of personalities. So you will have, so there are scientists and psychologists who have made, who have made people fall into these 4 categories. Okay, so one we call as drivers, the next we call as the expressionalists, third we call as the assertive people, and the fourth one are the logical people. Now let me explain you a little bit on that. So according to some scientists, fairly, the whole category of personalities are divided in this 4 categories, okay, in 4 boxes. One are the first category is the drivers, second category is the expressionists, third are the assertives, and the fourth are the logical people. Okay, now why do we need to know these personalities? Suppose I fall in the logical personality part, but I have to go and talk to a person who is a driver or who is a expressionist. So what should be my approach so that that person can grasp my understanding? So to maintain a same understanding, so that the information is shared, so that the message is clear, so the clarity of thought is there, and there is lesser chances of conflicts. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else who's not got that? Kano, Amra, why are we studying different types of personalities? After doing this, I'll get back to your interpersonal skills again. So, did we do the interpersonal skills together? We did, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We did that. We did a little bit of interpersonal skills, but I'm going to get back to you after doing the personalities. So here we're talking about why do we need to know different personalities? Amra ekhane Kano, we're talking about different personalities so that we can understand the other personalities and our approach. When you go and talk, you like slightly kind of identify that personality and try to make an approach in such a way that your work is done. It's more like using your smart skills, you know, using being intelligent. Like if you see an intelligent person would not want to go and argue with somebody who's illogically arguing. Will you want to do that?
No, ma'am.
So when we say like buddhimaner kaj hoyeche, you did not say, you did not talk. Don't you think so? A lot of times
Yes, ma'am. Because it will be a waste of time. They will
it's
not
going to be
understand our point. Yes, ma'am.
correct. Yeah. So that is why we need to know. We try to assess in our own way. It's difficult to actually assess a personality so easily. But I will give you some tips to somewhere identify so that when you go for an interview, when you go and talk in an organization, when you carry yourself, what are the things you can take care of? Okay, so let's go one by one. Let's talk about the drivers. What are the drivers? What is that first category, the first box? Okay, now imagine it a first box. So this is the first box. You can see, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
This part we're talking about the first part of category. Now it's not fair to say that all the drivers are going to be same. You have to understand that we live in such a huge world and every mind or mindset is completely different from the other. This categories that has been made is like almost like 70-80% true, but then there are exceptions also in them. So we are just trying to make a same platform or a uniformity to understand or deal with the situations in our life, in our organization, in our personal life, so that there is a better outcome, there is a better result, there is a better understanding which will help us to live happily and more satisfied. Okay, that is why we are doing these sessions. Life skills poranor mane hocche so that you all maintain a similar pattern in your personalities. So that is why we are doing these classes. So first category that we're going to talk today is about the drivers. Like you can understand, driver means a person who knows how to, take leadership. Like, a driver, when he drives, he's responsible for everything when he's in the road. Whether he's putting the gear, whether he has to take this road, whether he has to take that road, whether he has to look at the navigation, he's taking responsibility of his passenger. So the word is very similar to the personality. So people who are driver are very, very strong-headed. They can make their own decisions. They don't need an extra motivation. They have it in themselves. So, and they are very, very self-driven. You know what is the meaning of self-driven? Anybody who doesn't know the meaning of self-driven?
They believe in themselves.
Who can? Sorry?
And they believe in themselves.
Yes, they believe in themselves. Saika, tell me, what do you understand by a self-driven? What do you understand by self-driven? Believe in themselves, and more like they don't need anybody to push them. They're very confident kind of person. So they believe in what they actually have um, thought, their ideas, their concepts, their theories, their principles, their ideologies. That is what they believe.
And
It's
they're
very
confident.
difficult. Yes, it is very difficult to, negotiate, or it's very difficult to influence, convince these kind of people. You will find a lot of drivers around you. Hi, Anaksham, am I right? Like you go and keep saying about, say, suppose you want to buy a mobile which is costing you some extra money, and you're going and trying to convince your dad, who is a driver. So he would listen to you, he would listen to you, he would listen to you, but he will not agree. And he'll get back to you and say that, okay, this is why you don't need it. Right? So they're a little dominating also. Have you had such situations?
They have strong opinions, I guess.
Yes, they have very
And
strong
they believe in it.
opinions. Yes, and they don't need any extra push. They will not easily believe in what you say. Right? So those people, those kind of people are called the drivers. How will you identify them? How will you identify them?
I will identify them by their work and by their confidence, by their any kind of work. Prove that. So I can
Okay.
easily understand their personality is really good, and their confidence level is high than me and other person.
Okay. Anybody else?
And by their leadership skills, I guess, because they are so confident in themselves that they put themselves out in front of a crowd, and they can like make people believe in their points, and they can express themselves.
Yes. So, how many of you have read or seen that movie, Tagore's Ghore Baire? So Satyajit Ray's Ghore Baire, or read the Ghore Baire, The Home and the World. It has an English version too.
No, I'm not.
Anybody else? No one has seen this movie? Come on, you guys are from Bengal. You should have watched. Haven't you watched this movie?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You must have watched it, right? You saw the character of Sandeep there. Sandeep is the other guy who is who was doing the Swadeshi and used to talk outside, to which the lady gets, the protagonist, the lady gets convinced. Okay, so basically I want to tell you that what drivers are. So they are like decisive, independent, okay, and they have a very practical and efficient way of talking. They would talk to you like something that has really happened to them. You know, to identify them, you'll see that they make an eye contact. They have a very strong, confident body language. They would try to tell you facts or speeches, or the way they talk, as if like they have already convinced you. I'm sure you must have met people like that around you, haven't you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have met.
They rarely want to waste their time on personal talk. They would talk about, say, your personal experiences, but not exactly what kind of person they are.
Hmm.
And then they don't get really perceived by others. That's what I'm saying. Like uh, they're not the kinds that they will follow you, or they will want to listen to you. They will not have time for that. They believe in power and control. So
They're
that is
dominating.
so since their personality type
Kind of.
is so strong, so it sometimes is dominating for the other personalities. May not be necessarily they
Hmm.
want to be dominating. It is not a negative trait here, the dominating part. But again, it is like, since a person who is very strong with his viewpoints and
Yes, ma'am. Because of the confidence as well and the belief
yeah,
in
so
themselves
yeah, so
that they
that
get.
automatically appears that the person is trying to be dominating, but it might not be true. Are you getting my point?
Hmm.
So when you go and talk to these person, what appeals them is exactly the way they are. They want you to see you like that. So your postures, your body language, your eye contact, and the things that you're saying. So they want you to be, talking honestly and talking in a way that they probably they want to get convinced to. So you have to be very strong headed when you're saying, like, to aste bolcho, by to not very confident about it. They would not get convinced when you're talking to them like that.
Okay, ma'am.
Are you getting, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So sometimes
Can you
Yes,
give
ma'am.
some more examples?
for example, like, okay, let me tell you, like, some you must have heard some politicians, they had, like, okay, you heard Dhirubhai Ambani when he used to speak. Like, we did see the movie of what was that movie in which Abhishek Bachchan played his role.
I've seen his speeches.
You've seen his speeches. You've seen how he talks.
Yes, ma'am.
See, most of the leadership, people like who are in a, in a remarkable position, most of those people are actually falls into the driver category, because they know exactly how to empathize with their audience, how to, get into their mind, and that is their skill, that is their personality. You talk about Obama, you talk about Michelle Obama, you talk about Indira Gandhi, you talk about, um, um, even for people who writes also. I mean, it's not only who speaks, but uh, forget about all those things. I'm sure you have met people around your house also, like, who say, "Hey, hoy jabe kaj, don't worry, I'll take care of it."
Yes, ma'am. They're very assertive and certain about what they will do.
very confidently when they talk to you and they say that everything will be taken care of. I'm there for you. You know, so
Mm.
they fall into a category, a characteristic where you think that it is easier to depend on somebody like that. They know what their goal is. They know what they have to do. Right? I mean, be it any entrepreneur, any businessman, it, Ratan Tata, they are all drivers because they're very confident of what they're doing. They know what to get from you. So when you go and talk to people like that, especially when you're interviews, like if you go and you really have to work like a driver, like whichever category you fall into, you have to imbibe, means you have to inherit, মানে নিজের মধ্যে নিজেকে driver করে তুলতে হবে, to bring yourself like a driver, you have to imbibe like a driver even if you are not. So even there are a lot of actors I have heard, like they say, I'm very shy, I'm a very shy person, but when they act, do you really see that they are shy? Can you figure out who is shy? What about why are you guys not talking? If you're not understanding, then you have to let me know. Shaptak, Satyam, Shrestha, Siyashi Mandal, Subhashri, Subhayan, Shubrata, Shudipta, Tanmay Das, and Tanmay Ghoshal. Are you guys there?
Ma'am, you need to see the
Yes,
messages.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Sandeep, I'm seeing the message. I can see your message. Yes, I just got a last. Yes. Yeah, okay. I saw Saikat's message. Okay. So this part, so drivers, I'll just read this para for you all so that you'll like know it better. So drivers are action and goal oriented people. So they would want to know, like if they ask you like, where do you see in your interview, if they ask you like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? They will want you to give an answer that probably if that person was there, he would want to give you. Obviously, you will not say that I want to see you in your position. I want to see myself in your position. Will you say that? অতটাও confident
No.
হওয়ার দরকার নেই।
Yes, ma'am.
But you would say that I see myself in a managerial position, taking much more responsibility, accomplishing one or two challenging projects, which is going to be adding on my credit, something like that, where you show that I am a person who is not scared of taking challenges. Like kono ekta there's a technical bar, right? Like eta shobai kore utte pare. A first year student who comes, a first fresher who joins in can do this is the set of bar. When you show that I can do the second bar, I can reach to the next level, that is going to appeal to them. So a driver is are action and goal oriented people. So your answers when you're talking to a driver has to be goal oriented. Need to see results and have a quick reaction time. Of course, if they ask you and you're sitting and thinking, that will do it all. তারপরে আর কিছু বলা দরকার হবে না. So you need to be prompt, you need to be spontaneous. Like একটা ball যখন ছোড়া হয় ওটা ওয়াপস আসে তো, if it is a bouncing ball, it has to be
Yes, ma'am.
that way. It has to be that way that you get back your answer. So they are like very crisp on those things. Drivers, they are decisive, they can take their own decisions. If you do not know what to do next, that is something that they don't like. Independent, suppose there is a work and you are waiting for somebody, suppose there is a code to write and you need the developers, you need the testing team, and then probably the application, probably you can make a sort of thing. Suppose your team lead asks you that, okay, can you do this? And you say, I can do that, but I don't have a driver, I don't have a developer, and I don't even know who's going to do the testing. ওটার জন্য আমাকে I have to find out a person. That is not going to be the right approach to talk to a driver. How do you think? Suppose I ask you. So this is the need of the company. Okay, forget about the applications. Which department you all are from? Different departments?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go to an universal thing. Okay, so I tell you that I want to sell a toothpaste in the market. How many do you think you can? How do you think you can do it? And how much time do you need to do it? What will be your answer?
Advertising and advertising until it starts capturing the attention of the audience that is going to purchase it.
No, my question is, suppose I am the marketing head, or say I am the head. Okay, and I call you Rilesh, and I say that Rilesh, I have this brand, I have this toothpaste brand, and I have this pickle brand. Which one do you think is gonna work best, and we're going to make profit? What will be your answer exactly, Rilesh? I'm a driver.
My answer will be based on mainly what does the audience exactly need. Suppose if I think pickle can make more profit because people like eating pickle with something or the other. So I would rather say like pickle is the answer. We should go with the pickle as it will earn more profits because we will be able to sell more units of pickles. And the
Okay,
production
so
cost will be cheaper and easier.
yes, so Rilesh, the last part was fine. When you start, first impression is the last impression. Hit the rod when it's hot. So আমি যখন জিজ্ঞেস করলাম, so first thing is like, sir or ma'am, I think I'm going to sell the pickle much better. Then you give the logic that you give. That is the approach of talking to a driver. Are you
Okay.
getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you're talking about the direct hit part. You're talking about the action and the goal right away to the person who's asking you this question. যে তোমাকে কোয়েশ্চনটা জিজ্ঞেস করেছে, so that person you have to identify is a driver. And most importantly, like when you go for interviews, you will have to answer the question right hit on that point. Like you were being very honest that I can do this better than that. তার মানে এটা নয় কি আমি ওটা করতে পারবো না, I cannot sell a toothpaste, I can do that too, but I can make a remarkable profit in selling the pickles. But before you do an action, it is important to tell about it, convince that person that I am the best person to do it. Here is where you hit the rod. So here what I'm saying, listen to this, drivers are action and goal oriented people. So they will want to listen to your action and what is your goal. This is one question, but there are many such questions which talks about you. So when you answer, and don't take time, a lot of time. So you have to prepare yourself that your reflex. You know what is the reflex in a mind? Reflex kake bole?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. When we do something spontaneously, when someone
Yes.
like
Yeah, so automatically একটা কোনো কথা শুনলে, you know, we used to play those games, the first word that you hear and then the relative word that comes to your mind, right? And even in that movie Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, the girl plays the little girl say, Papa, I'll tell you one word, the first word that comes to your mind, like Akash, so it's sky, it has no limit. So whatever comes to your mind, you will say, right? We used to play those games.
yes, ma'am. 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 Yes, ma'am
Looks like I have to play this game with you all to find out your reflex. I can always do that. But I'm just saying, so those were games. Okay, I'll play this game with you all. So that is called, figuring out your reflex. So your reflex has to be so strong that you really know that what you're going to say. That is the way you prepare yourself. Like now you're in your third year, you really have to prepare yourself in a way that when you hit, suppose I want to get into Cognizant, I want to get into TCS, I want to go get into PwC. So here, what are the targeted question, and you going to answer according to your own personality type, and also taking care of the understanding of the other person's personality type, right? So they're goal oriented. They need to see results and have a quick reaction time. Keep this in mind. You want to write it down, all of you? Some points for drivers. If you cannot, maybe some other time you can write it down. So they are decisive, they are independent. So independent comes very decision making. Like if you have to sell this, I say like say Satyam, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell the pickles? Okay, he's ready to sell the pickles. He says that the profits are more. So what will you do about it? Like how you're going to do about it? So you say, either you say, so give me 5 minutes and I'll get back to you on this if you don't know something. And or else you give them a set of idea that you are going to run or it's running in your mind to make it work. And the part of being independent. Now, there are many people when you say that আমার কাছে এটা নেই তাই জন্য আমি এটা করতে পারছি না আমার কাছে ওটা নেই so I can do this work, but creating that non-dependable attitude is what the drivers look for, because they are themselves. Like if they don't, if somebody wants a chair, if there is
Because they
nobody,
are independent themselves.
they will do it themselves, right?
But to be reflexive, we have to, I mean, knowledge, give ourselves the, educate ourselves about the points. Then we will be reflexive, or we will like.
Your homeworks, yes, your homeworks, and that is your hard skills. To use your soft skills, you will need your hard skills, right? But
Either we will be faking it.
yeah, and I have to tell you this, that we all read a lot what is going on around us. Like the social media is so active, people read a lot of internet news, and so it's not that we don't know, it's just that we have to be aware of the right things that we are reading and remembering them to use it on the right places.
I mean, how would we know that it's the right thing to say?
That is what is your skill. That is what is your skill. Now, right thing to say, there is no right and wrong particularly. কেউ তো আর ওরকম বই বানিয়ে পাঠায়নি that this is right and that is wrong. The
Different
way
people will have different opinions.
your right and wrong depends on your perceiving power, or you're making the other person understand. Something which is not right for others may be right for you.
Yes,
Something what is not something what is wrong for my boss may not be wrong for me.
yes, sir.
So, but how well you convince him to say that, sir, this also works. That's not wrong.
That
That's not wrong.
comes in play.
Yeah. So then the drivers play a very important role. They know how to actually, convince you through your talk and your logic, your efficiently to make the other person. It's like a mind game. This is what we are doing, learning. First, now we are just trying to learn the personalities. Then you have to learn the mind game, how to apply it. And we're going to
But
do a
if
lot
we
of,
are talking to a driver, then would we, ma'am, able to convince him that our idea is like better than them? I guess
see, it is very difficult to convince a driver, but but if you yourself, now what happens when two drivers talk?
conflict. I
Everybody is
guess
going to to their own point of view, but it doesn't mean that they're closed ended. They would listen to
Oh,
you. It's something that convinces him. If you are efficiently putting forward your point of view, then it cannot happen that that it doesn't appeal.
okay. So they are
There,
open to new ideas. Drivers are open to new ideas.
yeah, they are very. I mean, of course, it has to be that convincing that they have to, agree to what you're saying,
Okay.
because they believe in their own things. But the whole world is running. There are many drivers who are talking to each other, right? Donald Trump would come and talk to our Narendra Singh Modi. Both of them will have, both of them are drivers. So don't you think all these, the assignments, no, not assignments, those delegations and all these things happen because there is a way of putting forward your thought
Well done.
process.
Hmm.
So, and then, okay, so they are comfortable and they believe in power, positions. So that is one of the leadership quality too, right? So suppose even in our classes, at times we see that one person says, ma'am, I'll take care of this, সবাই বলো কথা বলছো না কেন, like let's all do this. So one person is taking the initiative. There are many such incidents even amongst us, আমাদের মধ্যে, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is a little bit. Now you cannot say one person is a complete driver. একটা পার্সনের মধ্যে অনেক রকমের কোয়ালিটিস থাকে, like I said, like there cannot be like one full category just like that. Everybody might have a little bit of driver, a little bit of analytical, a little bit of everything, but these are the characters which are dominant, like which are more. এরকম চারটে categories এর মধ্যে some categories are more in a person, but that doesn't mean the other person doesn't, that one person doesn't have the
And
other
we play
category.
different characters in different when different audience is present, I guess. We play drivers sometimes, we play expressionists sometimes. That's how we change.
Correct. So depending on your audience, depending on your perceiving a thing, depending on your situation, what I'm trying to make you all understand are the types of personalities. Now you now understood what are who are like the drivers.
Yes, ma'am.
So they are in comfortable positions of power and control, and they have a business-like office, certificates, commendations. In time of stress, drivers may become autocratic. So when they are, so they're very impulsive, right? They want quick action, they want quick, reflexes. So when things doesn't work according to that, so probably they get a little worked up. So that is something which is a negative part of a driver. Also, they have a very controlled body language. They have a very polished body language. So they try to be the perfect personalities around. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so I want you all to identify this kind of person around you. And I don't mean that every, those are like dominant parts. কারোর কারোর মধ্যে এই জিনিসটা অনেকটা বেশি আছে, কারোর কারোর মধ্যে একটু কম আছে, হয়তো কারোর মধ্যে নেই, but I'm talking about a person who has the driver insight more, is more eminent, দেখা বেশি যায়, limelight এ দেখা যায় তাকে বেশি, right? So we just could finish only one personality type today, but are you all clear with the driver's part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubt, any
Yes,
questions
ma'am.
you want to ask? Anything you
No,
guys
ma'am.
want?
No, ma'am.
This is a part of your interpersonal skills. because this is part of interpersonal skill. Again, you have this 4 boxes inside you also, which is called intrapersonal skills. Okay, সেটা আমরা আরেকদিন করব. We'll take up one by one. I'm just trying to tell you what are we going to do. After these 4 personality types, you first learn the types of personalities, then you will try to identify যে তোমাদের মধ্যে কোনটা strong আছে, which category you fall. First yourself, right? That I fall in this category, this is more dominant in me, eta beshi. So looking at yourself in different situation, how you have evolved. Tumi kontate kono situation, like all these situations, all these years that you've grown up, which was more consistent in you. First you have to identify that will be your strength. So you're preparing for your interview skills, Kintu. This is all I'm going to, like, at the end I'm going to do the interview skills, and by then probably we'll see also each other. So I will want you all to figure out yourself, find out yourself, so that you can, and also you have to find out your negative parts. Don't come and tell me, oh ma'am, I'm perfect. Kyo hai na perfect? Everybody is made up with positives and negatives. If you do not know your weakness, you will not be able to hide them. So when you go out, when you are in an interview, you need to cover your negative parts. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you should know your weakness, because only then you can push yourself forward. Only then
And
you
we need
can
to show the
work.
best version of ourselves.
Yes, only then you can work on that, right? Only then you can figure out that, okay, আমার weakness এখন জানতে পেরে গেলে I will lose out with this job, or I'll lose out with my credits. So you need to know to hide them, right? That is why
Okay,
you
ma'am.
need your skill. So this much is clear, all of you all?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It's lunch time, I know, but এরকম মনে হচ্ছে যে you got no food, you got no water around you, you're not able to talk.
I guess it's the freezing cold weather, ma'am. Probably that has, like, frozen all the vocal cords.
This is freezing, Rilesh. My God, this is not winter. It's a pleasing temperature. You know, I used to stay in Chicago, and
I
what was
get
the
that, ma'am.
temperature
That
there?
is like actually pleasing for people like me and others. Like I enjoy winter more than many people, but I remember I came here a few days back and everybody was telling me about how the weather is cold. I said, no, Northeast is much more cold. But they said no, and I saw everybody
Where
was
are
pretty
you
much
from,
sick.
Rilesh? Where are you from?
I'm from Meghalaya, ma'am.
You're from Meghalaya? Shillong?
Yeah, actually, I live in a place where I often travel to Meghalaya or Assam. It's like somewhere in between.
Oh, you'll be surprised that my childhood was in Shillong.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, and I'm born in Assam. So
Me,
yeah.
I was actually born in Bihar, but my upbringing was in Northeast.
Okay, okay. So talking about freezing cold, I used to stay in minus 40-degree temperature so many
That's why
years.
you are comfortable, ma'am, but not everybody else. I don't think everybody will share the same view.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. So probably don't freeze. Do not be frozen. I don't know whether we're going to have the next class before our New Year or whatever, but your Christmas, I wish you all a very, very happy Christmas. May
Okay,
Santa
ma'am.
take
Thank
away
you.
the COVID from us, and we get back to our normal life. You all have a very nice Christmas. Enjoy yourselves. Eat a lot of cakes. And if we do not meet before New Year, so wishing you a very happy New Year too.
Thank you, ma'am, and we wish you the
Thank
same.
you, ma'am. Happy New Year to you, ma'am, as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, happy New Year, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. You all have a very good time. Okay, this is a festive season. Enjoy yourselves.